So we get a lot of questions about the gear that we use, and I wanted to take a couple minutes in today's video and just take a quick look at the brand new G5 Striker V2 that just came out this year. So you'll notice the packaging, the old Striker Broadhead, the original, and then the new Striker packaging, the V2. So make sure it says V2 on the packaging. There are a handful of really cool features that G5 has updated in the new V2 Broadhead, and I've got them laid out here just so you can compare the old and the new. But the first thing you'll notice is the ferrules on the two broadheads are completely different. It's been redesigned for the V2, a lot tighter tolerances, more aerodynamic, should fly a lot better. And you know, people always talk about getting broadheads to fly as good as field points. And part of that is bow tuning, part of it's arrow, making sure you have the right spine on the arrow, but some of it does go into broadhead design. And I've never had a problem with the original Strikers getting them to fly like a field point, but with this new design, I think it's going to improve it and help some of the people that maybe don't spend as much time tuning their bows or their arrows and help them get even better flight. The other thing you'll notice is the locking mechanism is a little bit different, same concept, but we've got a thicker washer that holds the blades onto the ferrule, whereas before there were two thin washers that held those in place. And then the other thing you'll notice is the differences between the blades. So there's the original blade on the G5 Striker, and the new blade is actually a little bit taller and has a little bit sharper angle. It's also got a longer tail on it to help lock it in place better. Still the same razor sharp blades that we've all expected and grown used to from the G5 Striker, but the blade design is slightly different, especially at the tips where they lock in. Again, the cutting diameter on the original G5 Striker was 1.06 inches. The new Striker, the V2, is 1.25, so you're getting a full 1.25 inch cutting diameter. That increase in diameter is just going to help with blood trails and further increase the amount of blood you're able to find and hopefully get a quick, clean kill on whatever animals you're hunting. The one thing I've always liked about the Striker is they're super sharp. I've never had a problem with blood trails with them, and I think this increase in the cutting diameter is going to just help increase that blood trail. So on the new V2, the blades go in very similar. They're replaceable, and there's 3 blades. Each blade goes into its slot, and then the thicker washer goes on the back of the broadhead, and it holds. There's a groove in the actual blade, and the washer goes in there and holds that in place to lock that in place when all 3 blades are in there. The ferrules on these are made out of 100% stainless steel, so they're going to be strong and durable. G5 has some video tests on their website showing the broadheads being shot into all sorts of different material, but they're super, super durable. The new V2 Striker comes in 100 grain or 125 grain. They also make it in the 100 grain for the Deep 6 arrows. One of the things I've always loved about the G5 Striker, in addition to the sharp blades, is how well it flies. And part of that is due to the really tight tolerances that they machine the broadheads to. And if we take the new broadhead and put it on an arrow and do a spin test on it, I can show you just how well it spins. So you can see it spins incredibly well. Not a lot of difference between what you're going to see in the original G5 Striker, because those ones spun incredibly well as well. And you can see there the original Striker spins incredibly well also. I've used a lot of different broadheads over the last 35 years of bow hunting, and in the last 15 years I've always come back to the G5 Striker. I think with the increased tolerances on the machining of the new broadhead, with the wider cutting diameter and the super strong stainless steel that they're built out of, the V2 is going to be an improvement on an already awesome G5 Striker broadhead. To see how they fly, We have part 4 of our bow setup video where we actually tune the bow for broadheads, and we're going to be using the new G5 Striker V2 in that video. Be sure and check it out right here on the Elk 101 YouTube channel. The success rate for do-it-yourself public land elk hunters hovers around 10%. The reality of that statement is that 9 out of 10 elk hunters each fall fail to fill their tag, or the average elk hunter only fills their elk tag once every 10 years. But average no longer applies to you. Crush the averages and sign up for the University of Elk Hunting online course today and become a consistently successful elk hunter.